After this weekend's season 2 finale of The Mandalorian and the final post-credit scene reveal of the Book of Boba Fett, what was it going to be? Was it going to be this third season of The Mandalorian or an entirely separate show? Well, we have the news of today that it is actually, indeed, an entirely separate show that is just going to also be released in December of 2021. This is a lot, in addition to all the new series that were announced a week and a half ago. Wow, we still have yet more. Just another one, and this one is Mr. Fett himself. So I wanted to take a moment to reflect back on all of the previous TV experiences he has had, appearances. Now, this is not an in-depth, but certainly it's an overview. He appeared on screen before he appeared on the silver screen in the Star Wars Holiday Special, in which we see him trying to get our heroes, basically, and this is presumably before the events in Episode 5, and he's trying to track them down, and he fails. He fails to bring them into Darth Vader. And then we see him again in the mid-'80s in an episode called A Race to the Finish on the Droids television show. And yes, also animated, and yes, this was a real show. It had more than a dozen episodes, and it is no longer canon, just like the holiday special. He also he's working for the Fromm gang. He owes someone a favor. He tries to get our protagonists, haul them in, and fails. Now, yes, he fails just like he did in the holiday special. He fails here again. And then we see him, and this takes place, by the way, before the events in Episode 4. Then we later see him, and now we're getting into canon territory. We see him in 3 episodes at the end of the second season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And he is, he's young. He's maybe 10, 11, 12 years old, not really clear. And he looks the same as the other clones. He fits right in with them. And he has a chip on his shoulder. And that is, he is out to avenge the death of his father, who he saw die right in front of his very eyes in Episode 2. So this was actually very clever. Very, very clever. And then we see him try to kill Mace Windu, fail, and then try again. And then ultimately he is arrested. And he is then sent off to prison, where we don't really see him, although we do see him ultimately in the 4th season. He is briefly in the prison and broken out. And then he once again appears later on in the 4th season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, when he sort of goes toe-to-toe with Asajj Ventress, or brings her onto his crew. Now, that's one of the really fascinating things with the 5 appearances in Star Wars: The Clone Wars, that Boba Fett has kind of a crew that he has various allegiances, or like other people part of his crew, such as Aura Singh and Bosk. Really interesting. We don't really know how that came about. Maybe because they had a relationship, like a professional relationship with Jango Fett. Unclear. And that's one of the great things about seeing Boba Fett in the season 2 of The Mandalorian. That, yes, it is the first time Boba Fett appears in real life on TV, but also in the episode called The Tragedy, it really reverses the tragedy of Boba Fett's previous experiences, where he really appears as feckless, like he just is not successful at what he has set out to do. And that's really one of the great things. It really provides a turnaround for Boba Fett, not only defeating the stormtroopers out of his armor, but really incredibly, once he gets into his armor and seeing how well he can wield that armor in battle is such an incredible turnaround and a reversal of the tragedy of Boba Fett on the television screen. And that's something that will be really interesting seeing going forward with this new show, The Book of Boba Fett. Who knows how this will turn out, but I can tell you I'm excited. On top of all the other new series coming out for Star Wars, this is a great time to be alive as a Star Wars fan. Thank you so much for liking. If you liked it, please like, please subscribe, and may the Force be with you.